The smell of freshly hung meats and garlic filled the air as Calard of Garamond returned to the fair city of Sargot. Here he met Mertian the Smith once in the beginning of his journey, and he hopes to return to increase the amount of blacksmithing in his party to help create weapons and armor for his men, as well for Calard himself. The crackling of the fire, the roaring of the bearskin pelts upon the wall made for a good backdrop for Calard of Garamond's fateful conversation with Mertian the Smith, his next companion for his band of merry men. Calard? So then, what is it? As we've spoke before, Mertian, I could really use someone like you in my company. I went to the local blacksmith to buy a weapon, and he charged me an exorbitant amount of 42,364 dinar, and as you can imagine, I am still but a humble hedge knight. I cannot afford such things. Having you in my company would be a great boon to me, having a man that could smith weapons and maybe armor in later patches, but for now, weapons would be quite helpful to the Order of the Lionhearted. Very well, I'm going to need about, still, 2,014 dinar, to settle up some debts, though. Can you pay? Right, yeah, well, here you are. Yes, Captain! Alright, well, let's get you outfitted with something. Oh, put that away, That too, you cannot, oh. Adding to my band, Mertian the Smith seems to be another individual who is struck by his strong love for the air guitar. Coming back over here to our party screen, let's see what we can do. Actually, let me jump back into the tavern. I want to show you guys something. So when you take a look at people like this Mercenary Swordsman, you can actually hire these guys. It'll be me and one of my mates, and they'll join your army, of course. And Mercenary Swordsmen are upgraded peasants. Peasants usually go through the string of peasants to watchmen to Mercenary Swordsman or Mercenary Cav. So you have an option here. So if you can't see them by pressing Alt, like you can for Osric, Bitter Drought, or the Center. Bitter Draft, sorry, as I've learned. But these guys, you can talk to them and get some decent tier 4 or 5 troops in your army. You only get like 2 at a time, and they're pretty expensive, so I wouldn't usually recommend this, and they're actually pretty expensive to maintain too. Let's enter the Smithy real quick and take a look. If I click on this character and switch on over to Mertian the Smith, I can make some pretty sweet little weapons. And if I switch over here to a two-handed polearm, you can make some cool stuff out of this. Now, we have not done any smithing on this character, and I probably wouldn't do this on stream with you guys. I would do it off stream, and I'm sorry, not stream, off recording, and build out something, because you have to unlock certain portions of certain halves and certain shafts, stuff like that, to get certain abilities on these lances. There's a way to actually make a I'm not looking at the right thing, but there's a way to basically make a pike is only usable with 2 hands, and I believe it cannot be on a mount. But you can build out a couchable lance through the two-handed polearm section here, and it depends upon what you do with all these. You'll see it's a couch lance here, so I might work on that in a later point, but I think it's a really cool thing to bring a smith into your party, because you can make really cool weapons, like really nice one-handed swords. Now, I don't have anything to smelt or refine, but he also is a pretty decent combatant, and that's why I've chosen Mertian the Smith here. Because it is, again, something very uncharacteristic for my playthroughs, and I think it'd be fun to kind of treat this guy, roleplay this guy like a squire of mine, Mertian the Smith, who's got great polearm skill, but he has no riding skill. So I think that's going to be something I'm going to do with this episode and with this campaign, is take Mertian under my knightly wing to make him a fair squire of Bretonnia. So let's see what we've got here today. What I'm hoping to do for this episode, now that we've gotten Mertian the Smith, I want to do some army building, attack some looters, which we'll do on fast forward. We'll just send troops on them to kind of build up our army's retinue a little bit, and then I hope to become a mercenary. My current clan tier is 1, so we can join in and become a mercenary of a faction, and that's what I'm hoping to do here today, is do the mercenary portion of this. But like with any good Calard of Garamond playthrough, let's do an arena. I feel like I have to redeem myself after completely failing twice in our last episode. Let us do our first arena of Calard's episode. And the big reason I chose this one is because I'm going to get some leather scale armor, which will actually be pretty decent. We do need a good upgrade to our armor, and why wouldn't I start with a bill? This would be absolutely terrifying. Oh! Take that! Oh! It's when you get that like crazy momentum in the swings in these things that it is really awesome. Good! Oh! Take that for using a crossbow in the sight of a Knight of Bretonnia. I'll boost up there, get some... Oh, I shouldn't have spoken. I wanted to get him out of the way first. And him. And him. Oh. Over the shoulder, because I am not someone who should be using a crossbow. Haha. Worry not, gallant. I've done the fighting for... Oh. Move quickly beyond that. Quickly, quickly. Move into the next round. Oh. Snuck over to my right side, I see. Oh! A nice 3 triple blow there with the multi-hits. Oh. So, one thing to note about Vlandians, they have arming swords. So their sword swing, actually, if you're too close, you won't be able to get the full swing in. So standing back is just a little hair will actually kind of help you. Doing max damage. No, not the bill. Anything but the bill. Oh, take that, trained archer. Calard of Garmont has finally recovered from his double loss and fetches a pretty good prize. I like this. This is good. This is a good way to start this this episode out. A nice bump up in armor. And honestly, it's a pretty sweet little piece of armor. Significantly better in the leg and arm department. It's going to weigh me down a little bit more, but that's okay. Brings me to equipping you with this. And I think he has a really good pull arm ability. Got great pole arm, good two-handed. Yet again, we need to get a two-handed weapon for these people. Let's see what we can do here in the trading department. At the very least, we might be able to buy something, smelt it down, and make it into something else. This is a two-handed pole arm that we could use on him, which would be pretty cool. I think a Volge would be fun. Let's do that. We'll pop that onto Mertian here. I'm not 100% sure if the order of these matters, but in my experience, if I put the two-handed weapon on top, he will use the two-handed weapon. We'll see if I'm right. I'm going to give him a very cheap kite shield, because more often than not, we'll be able to just find one on a bandit. I don't want to sink too much money into him, unlike this initial portion. Anything cheap here? Yeah, we'll buy it at a local village. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this, and we're going to just kind of romp away through a couple looters here, get some good experience to kind of start our episode out before we do some big mercenary joining, and maybe even another quest or two in something local. But I just want to kind of jet through this so that you guys don't have to sit through every little piece of it. We're actually going to fight this one because he does have some peasants. And what a great way to win over some peasants for our little army here. I've taken a significant amount of wounds, though, to be totally honest. Right in with my cavalry. For a second, I thought it said Vlandian gallant. Let's just kill those. Are you kidding me? The hail of pebbles killed my gallants. One thing to watch out for, those pitchforks. They're actually pretty rough. If you get caught with one of those, it might kill your horse outright. Ah, a level! We'll also be doing some skills up today as well. All in the plan. Oof. A heavy blacksmith's hammer to the side of my nice shield. Won the battle as to be expected with 0 wounds. Okay, good. We got some more Vlandian peasants. That's kind of what I wanted. I want Vlandian peasants, not Battanian peasants. Smell like cabbage. Perfect. That is kind of worth taking a look at really quick, the kind of climate of the map. There's a little bit of an issue right here with us already taking over portions of Sturgia. That's to be expected right now. That will hopefully get kind of patched away as it kind of balances out. But let's look at our character too real quick before we speed things back up. Let's go take some charm. We're going to go with Icebreaker is nice, but it's only 2 relation. And it's when you're introducing yourself to lords, not any other notable. So I'm going to go with the 15% reduced barter penalty. And we're going to pump that up with a focus point. We've got 2 points into Steward, which I quite like. And 3, 3, 3. And I'm kind of okay with all that. What I actually might do here is 1 more point into Riding to get access to the 60 Riding skill mounts a little bit quicker. In fact, actually, we're going to take our point of our attribute point and put it into Riding 2. That'll give it a further increase to the learning rate. That'll do it. Looks like no one else is good to level up. I'm just going to tab through this really quick. And no one can go right now. Yet to really see a strong return on that roguery. And we can see the roguery we've got is 5% more loot from village raids, which we really won't be doing. Less relationship penalty with using intimidation, which I've never really even done. I think it might not be included in the game. And I know roguery itself is not fully fleshed out just yet. But for the thrill, 10% increased morale gain from raiding villages. And more loot from enemies. That's the one I'm really curious to see how it attributes here. Like, this is giving me 30% extra battle loot if it's the party leader. So I don't know exactly what roguery does, but I imagine that they will make a clan. Oh yes, apply these please. A clan role that is maybe master at arms or blacksmiths. That way you get your you can use the blacksmithing bonus on that, or spy master for people who have high roguery. I imagine we're going to get more clan roles as we push through early access. So hopefully this will all kind of pay out for me in the long run. But we'll kind of see how it works. We'll take a look at our party real quick. Our footmen are good to go. Let's get them upgraded a little bit more here. We got 6 of 6. They're all good. These Imperial trained archers, we'll hold off on them. Ooh, Vlandian knights. Jump them up to knights. It's 3 of 6. We need to get some more recruits, I think. We might start dipping a little bit more into some more Vlandian crossbowmen and levy crossbowmen, because we really don't have much ranged, and that's actually a pretty nice benefit of playing as Vlandia, is you get a lot of really strong crossbowmen. So these footmen will go into, I think we will do Vlandian swordsman for our first batch. I think getting a shield on these guys quick is going to be very advantageous. Pole arms for the Vlandian spearmen are nice and all, but I like this infantry unit. They have the same stats for the most part. Their I guess armor is a little bit different, but I kind of like the Vlandian infantry a little bit more. But I think the light cav and the vanguards are a little redundant if you can get access to squires. But if you have trouble getting squires in your army, taking recruits and then pumping them down to vanguards is not a bad call. It's just that, look at this. Looking at a tier 5 unit with 130 polearm, one-handed, and riding. If I were to go back here, go over to Vlandia and go to Squire, this tier 5 unit has got better stats all around. 160 one-handed, 210 polearm, and 160 riding. So a significant increase and a bump up in armor too. If we take a look at it, we get chain on the barding. We got a nice set of armor here. A mace with a weapon and a nice lance and a nice shield versus our other unit, which has actually pretty decent armor and good chain on it, but much better stats overall. So that's your kind of trade-off. It looks like you get, better attack damage versus for better defense on the vanguards. So a full group of infantry, and these recruits, we're going to take 3 of them and make them crossbowmen. The other 3 we'll put into infantry. And let's do a little bit of this to kind of visualize what's going on here. Peasants, top please, Vlandian infantry, and our knights at the bottom. That looks good. So we know now we've got about 10 archer units, and we've got, what, about 16... Well, I shouldn't really count the peasants. We've got about 9 infantry units. So I think getting a little bit more infantry is better. And if you want a quick way to look at that, hover over your character, I can see I've got 28 infantry, 8 range, 4 cav. That, of course, is including my peasants, which are not the most stalwart of infantry. So, let's fast forward and do some more damage. Okay, so come over here to Ox Hall, see if there's anything good. Escort a merchant caravan, which I haven't really ever done that one. You notice we had to make a stop and buy some more horses. Things were just getting away from us. Do that again here. All this. Well, you know, we could smelt some of this down, but I still think I should do that off camera a bit. Help out on not kind of weighing everything down. So I would like to get a lance, like an actual lance. Good. A nice cheap couch lance. We'll do that. A pretty good little start there. We don't have anyone who uses bows. Or I'm sorry, crossbows. Do we have anything with... She's a good two-hander too, so let's get her like something like two-handed variety. I'd like a two-handed sword. I'm not going to give her a hoe, that's just disrespectful. Or even I think it should be really cool actually to get like a nice two-headed mace or something. That'd be pretty nifty. Yeah, as we start to get up and they start to get up in the high price points. A bearded axe at the lump sum of 4K shan't be the thing we purchase here today. Okay, so that's actually a pretty good little helmet too. So I think what we'll do is we'll quickly kind of purchase that helmet. We'll do this arena, and then we will kind of check out a local lord and join an army, because our guys should have gotten some good experience from that little romp we just did. We need to pick up again some more Vlandian peasants and swap them for Britannian peasants, or swap Britannian for Vlandian. And I want to get some more recruits so we get better archers too. But you'll find out too that really doing a lot of stuff as a mercenary will help out, and we actually might stall doing the mercenary portion and fight some of the minor factions like the foresters, because you get a lot of really good renown from them and a lot of really good gear if you can take out their lord, because their lord is like a high, I should say high tier, respective cultural lord. So taking a look here, go to home, go to clans, I'm going to go to minor clans. We're going to go to Company of the Golden Boar is Vlandian as well, but they are part of the Southern Empire. So attacking them will actually put me at war with Southern Empire. And where are the Forest people? Unfortunately, they're part of the Northern Empire, but they're at war with Vlandia. So, actually, if I do join Vlandia, who is at war with Sturgia, I probably won't be able to fight the Forest people. It depends. But I could go and attack them on my own, but it would put me at war with the Southern Empire. So it's like a little bit of a tense situation. So we'll see what happens here as we kind of progress our way through. But let's do this with a quick little arena. Rather than have you guys kind of sit through every single tournament I do, I figure just jumping to the part 4 of this might be a little bit more succinct. And let me know if that actually works for you guys in the comments. I think that the tournaments are a really big portion of the early game, so I do want to take advantage of them, but I don't want to kind of bore you guys with non-stop tournament play. We're coming up here to the final round, me against the Billman. Oh! Calard blocks! Calard takes a hit! Calard takes almost another hit! And then comes in for the stomach. Take that, Billman! By a shred of health left, we win the tournament. Sweet lord. And I get a very disgusting looking, which I thought was a way different helmet. I'm almost disappointed I did this. Let's that's terrible. Or a merchant caravan, huh? Or... Take a look at this helmet. Oof, not even better than mine. But in the meantime, it's something to put on his head. My god, is it hideous. Or my lady, is it hideous. So, let's kind of do a little bit more romping through the lands. We'll get a little bit more levels, speed up just a little bit more. I want to get some more recruits in my army, and let's go sign up to become a mercenary. So at least this way we can earn renown to sell these troops, sell the prisoners. And when we do, we'll at least be earning more money while doing it, and go get involved in some campaigns in the northeastern region up against Sturgia. I've progressed this campaign forward just a little bit. I didn't want to kind of fill this video up with a ton of time of me just fast forwarding through sacking looters. I felt like that was kind of cheap for you guys. So I've done some combat with some looters. I've done like 1 or 2 little tournaments here and there, once a couple things, but I do want to just kind of quickly go over what I'm going to be doing to this army. So let's go ahead and, I thought about actually doing this, making the Imperial crossbows. But if you look at this, their bow skill is 100 and their crossbow is 45, so it's bugged right now. And I don't know if that's just a bug via text or if it's an actual bug on their skills. So we're going to make Imperial veteran archers. It'll just be a nice little touch to the army, more ranged combat. And we've got 5 of these, so we'll hold off on them. Vlandian infantry we will hold off on as well. And these recruits, I think we'll kind of stay put there too. But we didn't get a whole huge jump from all of my cavorting around the lands, but I'll say it's probably better than me just showing you every little bit of that process. For my character, no skills, nothing to do here. I might have missed something. Ah, yes, athletics. So we don't actually need either one of these. I guess for all intents and purposes, though, we'll do something like throwing, I suppose. Or maybe we'll do the extra arrows in case on the off chance we use a dishonorable crossbow that I was raised using. I've never used in my life, I mean. But there's this guy here, Ospear. I want to go talk to him and see about becoming a mercenary of Vlandia. Now then, come no closer. Forgive me, but one cannot be too cautious. I would ask you for your name. Name is Calard, sir. May I ask your name? I am Ospear, of the Day Gunrick. We hold our lands in fief to Derthert, king of the Vlandians, and we honour our oaths of fealty. I am Lord of Osterken. I have heard your name. People speak of your deeds. It is good to finally meet you. I'm here to deliver my mans. No. There is something I'd like to discuss, Ospear. I'm glad to see that you are already in service of King Derthert, as I too would like to be in service of the King of Vlandia. Very well. What do you propose? I again would like to enter the service of the mighty, deep, baritone-voiced King Derthert. And how would you serve us? My sword is yours for the right sum, and I think that's. Let me preamble this. I mean, for the right sum to eventually become a vassal, if that helps sweeten the deal. Yes, well, we do hire mercenaries, and some of them, I'll admit, are men of honor. The reward will be 20 dinars for every group of enemies you vanquish, and for an equivalent deed. Alright, I'll accept that. And as they continue to talk through their contract, it's pretty much outlined that as I exact war and vengeance for Vlandia and its enemies, I'll continue to be paid in the way that does befit a mercenary of Vlandia. So now with this, we are at war with Sturgia, and we can see from this menu here that we're actually doing pretty well against Sturgia, as you would expect, as we typically almost always are. Now, they've actually inflicted quite a heavy amount of casualties, though, and they've gotten quite a good amount of sieges and raids off. So, we can see that there are already some armies gathering right now. We're closest to Ospear's army, which is gathering near Remontal. So I think what we'll do is, we'll join this army, see where it goes. How much overall stuff do we have? We have enough food for 30 days. Let's jump into Osterken real quick. I can get some food before we start. And actually, I want to get rid of these prisoners. It'll be nice to get some initial influence going, too. We'll go to the keep, go to the dungeon, donate the prisoners. Not going to be a lot, but, I mean, look at that. It's 40 gold. 40 more than we had before. And since we have a good little bit of money, you can see we made a little bit doing some of these this action. We got ourselves a nice guards. I'm sorry, we got this from one of our tournaments. A kettle helmet over mail. Looks pretty nice. I like it. We can actually give this to this gentleman. Or this is a 26 armor. What's mine? 27? Yeah. I almost look like a mounted yeoman. Like it. That'll do here. Can I give him... I'm going to give him a sumpter horse. And my reason behind this is I want him to eventually become a gentleman of Bretonnia as a knight. Now, because he can't use anything else. You need 10 riding for anything else. We'll give him a sumpter horse, which is terrible. And we'll give him... I think one thing I'd like to put on my character is this Northern Light Harness, but currently bugged, as you can see. The armor just sticks right through the head, and that's just not going to do it for me. So we'll give him... Actually, this step harness is pretty good, all things considered. We'll give him a step harness. So this way we've got another gentleman upon horse to join us, rabble-rousing. And I think we're good there. Let's take a look if we can get any quick little shoulder armor pieces. Ooh, you guys know how much I love these Western hoods. See, look at that. Look a proper men-at-arms right now. I enjoy it. I enjoy it thoroughly. You know what? A proper men-at-arms, like I said. I think the scarf kind of fits me. You know, I get chilly. Calard is a man with facial hair, but the next regions on the left and right, they're bound to catch a little draft when he's writing about the lands. Now, I would like to pick up a longbow. We'll hold off on that just a little bit. I'd like to get like a two-handed bastard sword, something sick like that for Calard, because although we're not focusing in two-handed skill, it'd be really good for sieging and such like that, so I want to get something going for him. If I can get you a cheap throwing weapon, yeah, this'll do. I'm just going to give him these little throwing knives. Wow, those things are actually pretty cool. A little intense, but he does have some throwing skill, and I might as well give him an ability to use ranged abilities since he's on foot, so that'll kind of help him out a bit. Are there any other cheap mounts here? I would like to pick up some of these, but at 493, that can certainly wait. Let's join this army and see where it takes us. This is bound to be a terrible, terrible idea. But I like a good challenge. Infantry. Always make sure that you're checking out these peasants or looters with prisoners, because sometimes they can have prisoners from another person's army, and it's a huge bolster to yours. You just kind of get like 15 troops you didn't expect in your army just to do some quick crashing around. So let's go ahead and let this kind of do its thing. We're going to fast forward while it does this. So it looks like in the midst of going to siege, our siege is ended, and we are now at peace with Sturgia. An epic conclusion to this little war here. So, but now at least that we are working as a mercenary, we can start to get a little bit of influence. So let's stop over here real quick at Provend and kind of assess our situation. So here's a quick heads up before we continue. If you use a custom banner like pulled from the Banner Party website, when you join a nation, it gets this discoloration. So you just have to Control V and paste it back in, and you're all set to go. So if you do that, just that's a quick heads up. But let's take a look at some troops. Our troops are good for now. Let's unfortunately kill some looters. Ooh! Now this will be a little opportunistic little ditty here. Now, he of course has nowhere... Oh! This is going to be a pretty fun fight. So, we're going to have Darbard of the Brotherhood's party, and now the Brotherhood of the Woods is at war with Vlandia. So this is a minor faction we can kind of hunt down and do some damage to. And I'll show you how I hunt them down by taking a look at the encyclopedia after this. But we're also going to get some Sea Raiders in there, which will be pretty deadly, and also a little bit of looters. Now, the nice thing about killing this guy, though, is a chance to get his armor. Might be great, might be not so great. We're going to find out together as a team. We're going to take these guys and...
Footmen! Archers!
Charge in.
Infantry!
I'll make... Oh, you can follow me. Alright, Mertian. Time to learn how to use that horse. Don't follow too close because I just ran into a tree. That's not the best way to do this. But, still, we're going to take the gully from them. Down here, down here. Mertian, Mertian, follow me. A bridge battle. Now we'll charge. Be able to use that fine choke point to our advantage. Mertian, you're supposed to flash and kill. Slash and kill, Mertian. Mertian, you have a Volge. Use it. Use it. Alright, Mertian. We're gonna need to have a talk after this. You clearly need more teaching with the Volge before you come to combat. That is epic. Just guys hanging off the side of a bridge. Doesn't get more medieval than that. Look around here. I'm clearly having trouble navigating the rocks and shrubbery of Vlandia. See them anywhere, unfortunately.
Attack!
Oh, that'll do. We got some good renown and influence from that, which is pretty nice. We only lost one person. I didn't see what it was. But we get this guy as a prisoner. Darbard of the Brotherhood is at my mercy. And we get a grip of prisoners, which is quite nice. Let's actually dump these looters and just kind of kick out some of the sprouts down to 30. There we go. And this is going to net us a lot of influence. And what that will do then is thus increase the amount of money we're going to get from our mercenary contract. So I'm actually quite excited from what just happened here. So we got some male Schauses, which I do not know how to pronounce properly. Please, in the comments, as always, let me know. And we got a good saddle horse that'll be good for Mertian here. Never learned how to ride the damn horse. And I will place those on myself. Kind of clashes pretty heavily with my canvas pants, but I'll allow it. Right, so that was actually a pretty opportunistic little grab there. And that's what we're going to be doing here is, now that we're going to have to wait until we go back to war with Sturgia, or probably even Britannia, maybe even the Western Empire, we'll take some time to attack and pillage these minor factions. It's a great way to get a lot of really good income. Again, you get really solid loot out of the situation. Look at the tavern. Okay, so you get 1,293 from them. That's, ooh, look at this. This guy's the best swordsman. 200 or just 200 two-handed, 170 polearm. Fortunately, he's not on a horse. Aldrich the Loud, though, I think might be our next companion to bring into our force. Probably in the next episode or so, because I think he'd make a really good mounted knight character to kind of ride alongside me as Mertian learns the ropes of riding around like a buffoon. Let's go to the keep here. Ethelild. Quite the beauty. She has a reputation of being a good friend, but a dangerous enemy. Not unlike many snakes I've met. High charm, a good amount of trade, some good steward. She looks like she's a fine breeding stock, if you know what I'm trying to say. Let's donate some prisoners here. I'm going to donate all of these, and if I take a look, we have, let's just round it up to 10 influence for easy math. And this is going to bring us to 50. So a good 41 influence out of that, which if we hover over here is going to net us a mercenary contract of 200 here. So we'll be actually gaining money every day. Now that does get reassessed every 30 days as of, I believe it's either the beta patch or the current patch. And if we go to war with someone, that's going to be pretty helpful here. So taking a look at our enemies, or I guess other people we're currently at peace with, we have a Northern Empire 3,000 arm strong to our 4,800 for easy math again. Zayt we're stronger than, we're stronger, only moderately stronger. Okay, they're getting up there. All right, so we're pretty much the superpower in the land. And from my experience, any faction you personally join tends to get the upper hand because you are helping tip the balance of a lot of those fights, and you're able to coordinate a lot of those fights. That's going to help us out a lot. So let's bring up N. Let's go to home. Let's go to clans, minor clans, and let's look at the Company of the Golden Boar. All right, because that's who we just got. Go to the key. Go to the dungeon. Yeah. Of the Brotherhood. Brotherhood of the Woods, actually. Okay. So, they're at war with Khazate. But he's at Furbeck. Click that. I'll click track to find him. He'll probably have a much larger army. Darbard we just snagged. Amalgan, not to be confused with Amalgam. Alright, so he's over there in the lands of Britannia, and Turvald over there in the Western Empire. We might be able to get lucky here and find Furbeck. And assuming his army's not too large, we should be good to attack him. Grab one of those guys. How's our army doing? A little bit more on the recruits before we jump them up. The footmen I'd love to have go to the next round, but we're still waiting a little bit. Okay, alright. And I'm going to head on over to Furbeck. So let's go ahead and just fast forward this as we travel around the countryside looking for the Brotherhood of the Woods, or the Company of the Woods. Alright. Found them. This should be pretty good. So they're going to have a lot of archers, which I personally have to watch out for because I'm on horseback with not a lot of concentrated cav. So it's going to be hopefully a pretty easy fight here. And also they'll pull in any of these looters, as you guys saw earlier. So we can't have them run next to like a 20 pack of looters. That'll be pretty rough for me. You know we're at war, buddy. I don't care you don't want to fight. We're going fisticuffs, friend. I am a knight of Bretonia, and thus must protect the lands from your saplings and arbalists and other form of horticulture.
Footman!
We're going to send them in first, and I'm going to try and put them in a shield wall as best they can. There's not a lot of shields in there. So. And you can actually do shield wall with your cav, and it is pretty helpful, I'm not going to lie to you. So if we do... No. Shield wall now. They'll pop their shields up, and they'll kind of get a good defensive stance at least coming into this.
Infantry!
I'm gonna have them advance. They're in charge too, please. I actually accidentally had all of them attack me.
Infantry! Archers!
Gotta be careful yet again. Want to get a good side swipe on them here. My couch lance out. And I had my infantry advance, because that should keep them in formation. Oh! Run away. Mertian, over here. Come on. He's like the guy with the dwarf pony. Lagging behind the rest here, Mertian. Try and get a good couch lance strike on this guy at least. Oh! He juked me. Mertian, not lag behind. Your precious cargo, Mertian, despite how I speak to you right now. This is much how my master spoke to me when I was but a squire. Oh, man, he got a good swipe there. Oof. Okay, so my infantry's getting in there now. Taking some good hits, some real good hits there. Oh no! Everyone, charge. Charge. I'm on the ground now. I am just waiting to be killed here. Use those rocks and pebbles. Get in there. I'm like a pincushion. There we go. Right. We're gonna just kind of keep riding these guys down though, because the more we kind of pluck apart and hit, the better off we should be. They're way faster than I am. Martin, come here, I need your horse. Not the first time I've been unhorsed in the middle of a fight. I think we got him as best we can get. We got a couple. We only lost some good crossbowmen. We just lost a peasant. The nice thing about having peasants is it kind of adds some like saturation here. So take them and just take a lot of prisoners too. Why not? Fortunately, didn't get any loot from him himself. Also, he was pretty low in the the equipment. We haven't gotten a whole lot. Let's jump over here. Anything? What do you want? Ooh, an army of poachers, eh? Go to the keep, go to the dungeon, donate some prisoners. And again, I can actually keep all of these sprouts. And the arboreals aren't terrible archers. It's just... Well, here. We could do this. I think it'd be kind of fun to have some archers kind of make the transition over here, or maybe even we just do the saplings. So again, the sprouts progress to the saplings, and the saplings are pretty good for tier 3 ranking. You can see here they've got 120 crossbow for whatever reason, but 100 bow. And these guys, they'll get pretty good with 200 bow on them, and they have a good little amount of armor there, a little brigandine armor going on. So I think other than doing the sprouts, we'll just do the saplings. We'll take 6. I think 6 is a good number. And what that'll do is, over time, these guys will just kind of say, hey, you know what? Maybe we're going to join you instead. And we'll just get some better, well, not better, but more archers. So we don't have to worry about splitting the recruits that we're getting into archers. Actually, and check this out. Let's see if we can grab him. A good thing to do is to talk to these merchants on the road, because you can get cheap things. Like I can get this little thing for workhorses. To help out with my carry capacity. It does contribute to herd, so you have to watch out not to get a herd penalty from this. But it's a great way to get like cheap merchandise prior to their making contact with an actual city. So if I take a look, right, those grapes are a pretty good premium right there. Ostracan, flax, wine. Well, I could sell this at Revolt for a good amount. It is unfortunately a consumable product. We can't really stop that from happening. Oh, whoa. That cheese is through the roof. And so that at Provend right now. Not a lot, though. Because usually they'll kind of focus on 1 or 2 or 3 things. Like this guy got a ton of grapes, which I can go to Revolt for and sell and make 3 profit. If I could do that. These olives. Well, Ostracan, well. Revolt is pretty high up there, though. And that's see how that text is kind of grayed out a little bit more? Since it is so far away, there's a higher likelihood that by the time I actually get there, it'll have dropped in price. So... we'll waylay that. Diplomacy here, nothing. We'll take a look one more time here at some clans. Brotherhood of the Woods. We just took out Turvald. No, we did not. Got a Malgan? Got Darbard. Darbard. Yes. Has been taken prisoner by Calard. Of course he has. Mark it down. He's still a prisoner. Malgan has been taken prisoner by Cervic of the Vlandians. So I believe he... oh. He's up at Torliad. We'll go hunting for him. He's over by Hurt. That's pretty far away. So, I'd say to kind of close our video out, we'll go hunting some more up there. We'll go ahead and fast forward this and see how it goes as we hunt more of the Company of the Woods. So here he is, but this might not be a battle that we fight. He's a little bit more... ooh, yeah, 65 ranged. That's going to be a much harder engagement. Although we did just grab some new squires en route. I think this is still a fight we hold off on. One of the other guys did just come up over at Galen, so we'll go check that out. But maybe check over here for a tournament to perhaps close the episode off instead, as that is a pretty brutal one. And Highland Fur Boots here. We'll do this little tournament to close our episode out. And I do want to apologize, guys. I was hoping to get a nice, good conflict going and jump into hopefully a little bit of a castle siege or something. So that might be the premise of our next episode. And what I'll do then during this little kind of in-between, I'll play a little bit, progress to the point that we get at war again, train up some of my troops, and then Calard will finally be able to siege Castle of Sturgia. Let's jump into a full tournament here. We won't just jump to the end because this is the kind of close out of the episode. We'll have a little fun here in this Battanian tournament at Pencannock. Right. Got some betting in. Oh god. Two-handed weapon. Two-handed. Oh! Lag there too. Aha! Calard is not afraid of you because you're my friend and you're my party. I'm so sorry, Mertian. Please, learn to use the horse properly next time. Oh, no. Oh, no. Calard was just beat. He was just beat like a squire's horse. But we were still able to get to this round. Alright, so two-handed axe time. Come at me, Battanian clan warrior. I, Calard, am not afraid of you! I'm not afraid of you! Aha! I've qualified for the next round with my heavy axe. Right. The Falksman now. This should be pretty interesting because he's going to be a pretty quick guy. Ah! And you didn't expect that one, did you? That's what you get for not wearing a shirt into an arena. I have a scarf, amongst other things. Alright, veteran archer and myself. My own veteran archer and I going at it. Oh! Right around again! Give me the full Aragorn swing. Oh, no, no, no! Oh! Oh! Ha! Oh! Woo! That was almost not good. The Highland boots are our prize. I don't think they actually sell for a whole ton. We'll take a look here. Look at some quick trade. A northern leather vest. How nice is that? A Highland fur boots. Ooh, actually 19 armor. Those are pretty good. Mertian, what are you wearing around? Wrap leather boots are good. These are wrap leather boots as well. Eastern curve boots. Right, so anything of note here? Still no good two-handed weapons that I can give to Addie. Give her a two-handed weapon rather than this iron arming sword, which isn't bad. But to give her like a nice solid two-handed axe or sword. Prior to some of these patches, it was way easier to find. Ooh, she's definitely getting the leather gloves. It was way easier to get like a bastard sword in the arenas. So it's been kind of a slim pickings so far. A lot of helmets. A lot of helmets. Okay. And we'll go ahead and we can sell this where? We can sell it at Galen for pretty good. So what we'll do here today, guys, is we'll take a look at our party real quick before closing this episode out. Levy crossbowmen, we can get them upgraded because 2 of them died. So they're now Vlandian crossbowmen, which is much better. Adding into that party, and we'll take a look at our character. We're all good to go there. So next episode, hopefully then, we'll be able to get some good wars going with Sturgia. They've actually were able to take back Omor, it looks like. This should be a pretty interesting next episode, as since we are now a full-fledged mercenary of Vlandia, we can really get involved in some of the bigger conflicts and some of the bigger wars. This should hopefully lead to a bit of a renown ramp for the young Calard of Bretonnia, as he grows his legacy across Vlandia. We can see we have got room for one more companion too, so we'll fill this companion roll out as we come on over the next episode of the Order of the Lionhearted. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Please let me know in the comment section below some of the things that are working for you or not working for you in this narrative playthrough. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, so I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am enjoying recording them and putting them out. I'm hoping to get a much faster pace here, as this is also a video recorded in 1440p rather than me recording it in 1080 and scaling it up. Let me know how it looks. If the image stutters or stammers a lot in places, please let me know. I know it will happen just because of the virtue of the game itself, but my eye has not been fixed on the FPS the entire time, so I want to make sure this looks great for you guys and it's a good presentation. But as always, thank you so much for watching here today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that kind of fun action. Be on the lookout for some more patch notes, me covering some other fun guides, as well as further expansion to Callard's grand journey. Have a good one, guys, and take care.